Happy Sunday. It's the start of spring break here at our house, and I don't know, I'm gonna be kind of raw and authentic. Sundays are not easy in my house. My husband and I were not who we are today when we got married. And I've had a huge change of heart over the past year and a half or so. And I still can't quite say that I'm confident in my role as a wife, because prior to my heart change, I was a wife who did everything, and I would go for my husband's advice on things, but he often doesn't give any direction whatsoever. So I'd be kind of left to make my own decisions anyway. And when I had a change of heart, I realized I wasn't submitting to the role that God designs wives to do. And I was also not allowing my husband to submit to his role as husband. And so, like I said, this happened about a year and a half ago. I actually confessed it to my husband, and I said, I've been leading in the house for too long, and I realize it's wrong, and I'm sorry. So I've spent quite a bit of time trying to understand what that is. And I kind of dropped it in his lap. And I'll be completely honest, we still to this day don't know how to do it properly. He does not know how to lead, and I don't know how to follow. And I actually have a book along the same lines. I haven't read it in a long time. I'll probably pull it out here soon, but it's called Husbands That Don't Lead and Wives Who Don't Follow. And the reason I can talk about it is because I know for a fact that we are not the only couple that struggles with this. And we're not the only couple where one of us comes to the light bulb moment that we're doing it wrong. And the other one, though there have been very positive changes in our marriage over the last few years, in some aspects, we're the best we've ever been. But I do find myself feeling lament because it's not happening quick enough. And so there are a lot of moving parts in this, and I'm still kind of, I think, taking on too much of a leadership role. But I don't know how to step back and let him lead, and he doesn't seem to be interested in doing that. So it's hard. It's very hard. Sundays are very hard because we go to church as a family, and then we come home, and I don't know, there's just a disconnect. And I find myself kind of falling into old ways of what I would call like self-preservation. Our relationship has been this way for so long that the moment my husband needs a little bit of downtime, I think subconsciously I immediately think something's wrong. And you could talk to him today and he'd probably be like, there's nothing wrong, or he's totally fine. So I know then that it falls on me in trying to figure out why my mind goes there. Likely it's because Satan likes to play, and he likes to attack families. But I can just attest to the fact that Sundays are hard, and it makes sense because they're a holy day, and I have ideas in my head of how things should be, and they're often not that way. And I just want to be very clear, I'm not bashing my husband, because I do firmly believe that, well, years ago, I used to think, if such and such happens, that's it, I'm out of this marriage. I always was kind of 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door. And there was one time where I had this thought, and I do believe that it was God keeping me in my marriage, but the thought was, you might not be happy in your marriage, but the reality is, whatever baggage you have, you will take that with you to your next relationship. You can't run away from every relationship and expect something better to come along, because there are things that need to be worked on in you as well. And that is humbling, and it's a great reminder that says every single marriage, everybody's got to play a part. And so I work diligently to figure out, A, what my role is, B, if something I'm doing is causing my husband to do what he does, or maybe we just have old habits and old cycles of thinking, and the moment somebody says something, you go into a certain, mindset. And so I won't blame my husband for that. I also won't blame my husband for the fact that Sundays are hard, because he does work very hard and he does need to catch up on some rest. And he is, I don't know, I wouldn't call him an introvert per se, but he definitely needs, or can, survive on much more alone time than I can. And so perhaps there's, some codependency going on there, and that's not healthy on my part. So I don't know. I just wanted to be open and honest about the fact that Sundays can be hard in my house. And I've talked to other Christian women, and I know that Sundays can be hard in their houses too, which is always, a little flag that leads me to believe that perhaps it's just because Satan likes to play games, and Sunday is God's holy day, and it's a day that we go to church and we should be able to get through the day without conflict. And I'm not at a point where I'm going to raise conflict today, because I don't think that leads to peace right now over certain things that I don't think my husband even understands or is aware that happened. And so I just keep praying, and finding gratitude is huge. Yesterday, my husband spent an ample amount of time outside building a fire and roasting hot dogs with our youngest, and everybody else in the house, the older kids, were all doing their own thing, and they were productive, and I was able to do some things around the house. So all those things were good, and yesterday was good, but Sundays are still hard. So if you're having a hard day, I hope this encouraged you some way. If you're not having a hard day, just understand that I'm not complaining. It's very important. I think that it's important to be open and honest so people understand that, it's not necessarily dysfunctional to have hard days in a marriage. I think our hearts are very, very, very complicated. And I think it takes a lot of vulnerability to look at how you feel about things and discern that they're fairly common. Sorry. I don't think I have a cold, but I definitely think this weather is creating trouble for my sinuses. But yeah, we are created with emotions. The emotions we feel ebb and flow from day to day. They, based on all different things. And so at the end of the day, you think about it, you pray about it, and you surrender it. And that's what I'm going to do. Woo, I'm going over a very large railroad track. And for the record, I wasn't even going over the speed limit on that one. I'm going to end this. Have a great day. If you're having a hard day, hang in there. There are new mercies every morning. And if you're not having a hard day, I'm sure you have a lot to be thankful for. And if you are having a hard day, find those things to be thankful for, because they're there. Have a great day.